Jurassic Park 3 is not directed by Steven Spielberg, it's actually directed by Johnston, and it stars Sam Neill, William H. Macy, and Leoni, and is the continuation of the Jurassic Park series, and it's where the series kinda went downhill for a lot of people, and myself included. Now, if you guys didn't know, I already reviewed The Lost World in anticipation for the upcoming Jurassic World and Jurassic Park 3D when it came out a couple years ago, so I'm now completing my series of Jurassic reviews because I'm a completionist, and just in case you haven't seen JP3, I suggest checking out that movie first and then coming back and watching the review because there are gonna be spoilers throughout this video. So the story of this movie is basically we need to get Sam Neill back on the island for some reason. So we have a boy who crash lands when he's parasailing, and this family lies to Sam Neill to get him to the island because they're telling him, we just need you to be our guide. But in reality, it's the boy's parents. They have no money, and they get Sam Neill there by offering him money, just like in the first movie. Again, the motivation for going there is money. In The Lost World, the motivation for Jeff Goldblum returning to the island was love. His girlfriend was on that island, so he had an emotional reason for going back to the island. In this movie, it's because somebody writes a lot of zeros on a check, so you instantly don't really care that much. But right off the bat, in the opening scene of this movie, I watched it today, I could not believe how painfully, excruciatingly obvious the green screen is. The characters who are parasailing in the foreground and then the background of the ocean and the mountains are like on a completely different color scheme. It's really bad, and that's just the first issue with the CGI in this movie. And one of the biggest reasons I think it doesn't work is because Johnston and the special effects team decided to utilize a lot of close-ups of CGI dinosaurs. Now, if you go back and watch Jurassic Park and The Lost World, close-up shots of dinosaurs were almost exclusively animatronic. Anytime a dinosaur was right next to a person's head or right in frame with the camera, it was almost 99.9% of the time an animatronic. CGI was mostly utilized for wide shots because you're not closely examining these computer details that Spielberg and his team knew just weren't up to par for that type of filmmaking. But in Jurassic Park 3, there are tons of detailed close-ups of CGI dinosaurs, and they don't hold up anymore. It's great to see Sam Neill back. He's probably the best part of this movie. I love him as the character of Alan Grant. His introduction where he's playing with the two dinosaur toys, which by the way are a Spinosaurus and a T-Rex, who will later fight in the movie. Interesting little Easter egg there. I love that he's explaining to the child that he's making the wrong types of dinosaurs fight because the kid is playing with herbivores and he's like, those wouldn't fight, that wouldn't happen. I love how it's just like he's looking at this little kid, and that's just perfect. It's perfect Alan Grant writing right there. And it's also nice to see Laura Dern back as Ellie, but they made them break up for some reason. So it kind of lessens the impact of the first Jurassic Park. It's basically like, we want Sam Neill back, but Laura Dern can't return, and so we'll write her into this little part, and we'll make them break up, and it just lessens that fun of the first film, because you know, it's like, okay, they're not going to end up together, so why? Like, why would you do that to the characters? It's similar to, at the start of Alien 3, spoilers for Alien 3, they kill off certain characters that made it at the end of Aliens, and you're like, why? That kind of lessens the impact of Aliens now. They did the same thing with this one. So once they finally convince Sam Neill to go to this island, they have a scene in which his friend Billy describes his lucky pack, and I'm like, another lucky pack? Sarah Harding had a lucky pack in The Lost World. You're really gonna write another character who has a lucky pack? That's just lazy writing. You just did that exact same thing in the last film. And of course, the scene with the plane going to the island has probably the dumbest scene in the entire franchise, even dumber than when the little girl does the gymnastics bit in Lost World. We have Alan having his raptor dream, in which a raptor looks at him and goes, Alan, Alan, and then he wakes up from a dream. It's like, what was the point of having a startling raptor dream where the raptor said his name? That's really, that's really dumb. That's not good. The other super disappointing thing for me when I rewatched this movie was the characters. They're not entertaining. They're poorly written. There's nothing really interesting about them except for Alan Grant. And a lot of that is because we love Sam Neill as Alan Grant from the first film, and he's so good as that character. But Leoni screaming and flailing around constantly, and William H. Macy making really terrible jokes that just fall flat. It didn't work at all. And the character of Billy, while likable, is such a boring and dull character. And once we do finally meet their son, it's like, okay, he's kind of a cool character. He's resourceful. He was able to survive for like 8 weeks by himself. And Trevor Morgan, who portrayed him, was clearly right in that time period where his voice was kind of changing. So whenever he screams, it's like, ah! They're over by the river! That's what it's My other issue rewatching it, and I can't believe actually how many issues I had because I haven't watched this movie in years. I really didn't like this movie. The animatronics aren't even really that good. The Spinosaurus creature really feels like a machine. It feels like a theme park machine that would be on the Universal Studios ride. The animatronics in the first two films were mind-blowing. They melded seamlessly with the CGI. In this movie, it's like this hydraulically controlled Spinosaurus creature that just looks like a machine going back and forth. It's not good anymore, guys. It really looks dated. And the T-Rex versus Spinosaurus fight we were all excited to see was like 20 seconds long, if even that. It was so disappointing. But one of my biggest flaws with Jurassic Park 3 is that there actually isn't really a clear antagonist. Spinosaurus doesn't count. That thing just shows up every once in a while to chase them, and then they get behind something and block it from getting to them. That's pretty much the whole movie. They run from things, get to a safe spot, and then they run from something else and get to a safe spot. It's just like a 92-minute with credits thriller that just did not fit into the Jurassic Park world. Yeah, it's 92 minutes. How crazy is that? I mean, all the other ones are over 2 hours long and feel like this awesome adventure. This one's just like this little TV episode or something of Jurassic Park. But like I said, the antagonists in the movie, there aren't any. There is not a single human antagonist in this movie. It should have been the Kirbys. Think about it. This couple lied to Alan Grant and to his friend Billy and to all the mercenaries they hired about their position, about their worth, about everything, got them to the most dangerous place on Earth just because they're looking for their son, which I understand their emotional motivation, but they really should have been the villains of this movie. They should have made them a lot less lighthearted. There should have been serious confrontation and maybe even hate brewing between these people, but it's all played for comedy, and you're just supposed to accept this couple who got a lot of people killed and seriously injured simply because they were looking for their son are the good guys. They should have been the antagonists of Jurassic Park 3. How much more interesting of a film would that have been? But do you want to know the dumbest part of this movie? There's a scene where they find the video camera that the kid had when he was parasailing. The battery is dead. And one of their friends comes over, takes a flashlight and says, "I have an idea." He starts to unswivel the flashlight and cut to the camera just working. Now let's talk about that a little bit. This is a camera similar to the camera used in Jurassic Park 3. It's an old-ass video camera. This is the camera's battery. It goes in the back, right there. This is a D-cell flashlight battery. I don't think it fucking works. We're supposed to believe that they hooked up little wires to this battery and somehow charged the camera battery with the different voltage and everything. If Spielberg had made this movie, he would have been like, look, a whole bunch of people who watch my films are huge film buffs, are directors, people who love filmmaking. They're gonna know that a D-cell flashlight battery is not going to work on that shitty little 1999 video camera. Now, yes, I know, guys, before you tell me, there are ways to hook up little wires and stuff. There are YouTube videos out there that show you how to charge a camera with a D-cell battery, but do you really think they're gonna have any of that material on this Isla Sorna island where they're lost and there's dinosaurs? Just give me a break, okay? Give me a break, writers. And once the raptors finally do show up, for some reason this raptor decides to pull an ET and hide behind the glass without moving, and then it jumps out at Leoni. I'm like, really? There's just no theme to this movie. The first two films had a theme. Man, nature, don't meddle with it. Stay away from it. Don't get involved, bad stuff happens. This movie is just a series of scenes in which people run away from dinosaurs. That's it. Now, I read two things on the IMDb trivia that really interested me. For one, it states that the film began shooting before the script was completed. Well, that answers a lot of things. And also, apparently in the original script, Billy's character does die when the pteranodons attack him and everything, but he protested, and Joe Johnston allowed him to be alive at the end because he gave in to his actor's stupid demands. And once we finally get to the big end scene where the raptors really want these raptor eggs from them that they stole, apparently Alan Grant is just able to somehow mimic a perfect raptor call with this thing that he has. He's like, and then the raptor's like, paw, paw, and then they all start running away. It's like, wow, That's a skilled man. And once the Navy and Marines show up, they've somehow already found Billy alive. He's on the chopper. The pteranodons are flying next to them at the end. The same pteranodons that attacked them and are now loose. And they're all just like, oh, look how beautiful they are flying. Yeah. Oh, look at they just tried to kill us like 20 minutes ago. So Jurassic Park 3 was a very disappointing movie for me. A lot of the story elements didn't make sense. The characters were boring. There was no clear antagonist. There wasn't much to the characters in regards to any type of emotional conflict. It was just run from big CGI dinosaurs that look fake. It's so incredible to believe the movies made in 1993 and 1997 had better special effects than the one made in 2001. I'm gonna give Jurassic Park 3 a C-. It's great to see Sam Neill back. It has some entertaining scenes, but for the most part, this movie was vastly disappointing. So guys, I am super excited to bring you my review of Jurassic World. I'm going to be seeing it on June 9th. Can't wait to see it. I hope it's great. I hope it's great. Please be good. And if you guys missed my review of The Lost World, that is on my channel right now, as well as an older review of Jurassic Park 3D, but still acceptable. I hope you guys enjoy that as well. Thank you so much, as always, for watching. And if you like this, you can click right here and get Stuckmanized.